Hello listeners and welcome to Meanwhile in the Falklands number 52. Do you know what? Normally I just go hello, welcome to and I did it differently and it's totally thrown me. Just those different words. Anyway, listeners, let's straight off the bat, right? It's just me and Hannah.
All on our lonesome.
Yeah. And we're not going to be talking about sport. So, Stephen, you may want to look away right now.
Stephen's our number one fan in the UK. Sports fanatic. We've just sent him a DVD, haven't we? Of the,
so if there's
FA
any other listeners listening and you want DVDs, it sounds a little bit dodgy because it's quite expensive to telephone here in the Falklands to get credit card payments, but so we sort of had to do it and over the internet and the FITV Wi-Fi only goes until just before Gareth's office, and then I had to log on to the Stanley Services internet, and that seemed to finish when I entered the shop, and so I had to stand in. It's just.
But it's not a scam. We will say that. And the easiest way, if you do want to watch from the UK, is probably to go onto our website and subscribe. Yeah. £60 for a whole year. Plug.
Yeah.
Cheap as chips.
Do you know what? See that? Look, topsy turvy, because that's what I normally do at the end. Is plug the online. So yes, please subscribe online.
You get 4 shows a month, which is a lot. Good value for money.
5 sometimes.
Yeah, 5 sometimes. Half an hour shows. That's 2 hours a month.
Bargain. But the only problem is, if you have any problems viewing our show online, please get in contact with us. news@fitv.co.fk. Because we don't know that you've got a problem, and you might be sitting there getting really cross, thinking it's all our fault, when actually there are things that we maybe could do. It could be because we had some issues with the automatic generation of passwords. That wasn't working very well. And
we are a small outfit, so people know. There's only 4 of us. We don't have tech helpline 24 hours whatever. So
no, we don't. So just if you've got a problem,
give us a shout.
You probably find it's easier to view on the Chrome browser. I think that's the one that people have found that they watch it easily on. I use Firefox. I'm quite happy with Firefox. That works for me.
That's because she's old-fashioned.
Thank you.
All about Chrome.
Not quite as old-fashioned as people are on Explorer. It doesn't work at all if you're using Explorer. But yeah, just give us a shout.
This is our tech podcast. Our tech there.
Look at this.
But let's go back to girly podcasting.
Right, I'm going to take my headphones off now.
Yes.
Because I'm restricted. We're using a slightly different microphone today, listener. You may realise. Actually, I didn't check the sound levels, but I think we're okay.
Or is it even on? Maybe it's not on.
No, it is on. It is on. We're okay. So let's find out. The boys have gone off.
They're boating, aren't they? They've gone on to a special research vessel that's come in, the Polar Stern. And I think it's just come back from South Georgia, and it's taken a load of scientists back. And then there's 25 students from around the world who are going on it.
Oh, wow.
Which should be quite interesting. So and it's doing climate change and global warming, and they're all marine biologists and students from all over the shop going to do some research into climate change and global warming.
Oh, wow.
Which is quite exciting.
So they went on the ship at 8:15 this morning, where it was still dark, because obviously we're in the southern hemisphere. And let me just move that over there. We're in the southern hemisphere, so it is winter right now. So it's dark. Well,
it was snowing.
We don't move our clocks either, so that's the other thing.
Snowing this morning too, so those poor boys are probably chilly.
Yeah.
And they've got to get up a special pilot ladder as well, so they
Do you know what? Those pilot ladders are about 6 inches wide. Honestly, it's ridiculous.
And they're rope, and they're hanging off the edge of the ship. And
no, there's no snow predicted today.
Although I could have sworn it was sleeting this morning.
Oh, probably was.
Yeah.
It's only going to get up to 2 degrees. So we'll find out. Anyway, a few years ago, I had to go onto a ship from a launch, and they put me in this massive suit, which I have to say was fantastic. It was
like an immersion suit.
I don't know what that. It was camouflage, and it was incredibly warm, and I did not feel the cold at all. And then I had to put this life preserve on as well, and I was carrying a tripod and a camera, so it wasn't the days of Mojo stuff. And we got on this. It wasn't a launch. It was one of those rigid raiders.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So hung on for grim life. We got to the ship, and the director of emergency services at the time I was following him, filming him, he turned round and he said, "You're all right with ladders, aren't you, Paula?" And I went, "Well, it's a bit late now, isn't it?" You know, standing here, snowing, next to this ship, and this pilot ladder, I am not kidding, this is no exaggeration, they're about 6 inches wide.
And when you're in a suit, you can't move. You don't have the mobility either, because in South Georgia, there were a couple of the people on the trip who couldn't do pilot ladders, so they ended up getting in the rib on the boat, and then they'd lower the rib on a crane into the water, and vice versa. So they had that, but we were up and down the pilot ladder, and then the boat's rocking, and then you've got to step at a certain time, otherwise you get trapped between the rib and the and the ship. So it can be a bit of a nightmare. But let's hope that the boys are okay.
Yeah. So it's a little bit cold down here. Like I say, it's probably about 2 degrees today. I've just had a look at the weather app. I have got my tog-rated socks on, which I'm about to take a photograph of and put it onto YouTube.
Oh, I love those. Are they the heat holders ones?
Yeah, gorgeous.
Heat holders are the best kind of warm socks. Can you tell that we've run out of things to talk about because we're talking about Paula's socks now? No, we haven't. We've got a list. We're prepared.
They're not ordinary socks. These are tog-rated socks. Tog-rated 3. My feet are so toasty in these.
That's good.
It's untrue. Anyway, yes, it's going to be a bit of a girls' session. Are you all right with the term girls?
Girls?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm a bit old to be a girl now because I'm 27 tomorrow.
Oh.
Don't listen.
But I had a bit of an argument with somebody on Facebook once because I referred. They were complaining that a group of women were referred to as girls. And I said, I've got no problem with that, actually. And very often I've turned up to things to film with either you or any other lady who works for us. And, you know, all the girls from FITV have arrived. And I've got no problem with it. In fact, I think it's quite nice to be
but I think this is the differing...
But people can get very uptight about it.
Well, some people don't like it because I think some... girls or women find it a bit demeaning. It's a bit, young girl, okay, here are the naive girls. Whereas some women, I think, like it because it makes them feel youthful.
And that's me.
And that's the category that I
speak right now, people, I'm having a hot flush. I'm going to have to open the windows because...
But that is like, here are the girls, come on girls, da-da-da. But my dad still calls me girls. When we go out, Dad, Nan, if you're listening, Dad will always call Anne and I girls.
Yeah.
He'll always be like, "Come on, girls, let's go." Da, da, da.
No, and then I sort of in the thread I put when I've organised a choir or something like that, I'll refer to the boys, you know, the tenors and the bass. Oh, and the boys will sing next. And this lady, I think it was, said you shouldn't refer to them. It gives them a licence to act like children. I said, oh my God, this is getting far too serious.
Yeah.
You know, this is for me. It's a term of me personally. I see it as a term of endearment. So, you know, I'm quite. What is that?
Paula's over the window, and now we've got buzzy bee noises outside.
I was say, if that's copyright music on, we're going to have to shut the window again.
No,
it is copyright music, isn't it?
I think it's roadworks.
Everybody listen.
No, it's a buzzy saw.
It's a buzzy saw. That's all right. So we've established that that's not copyright music out there. It's just a saw, so we're all right. Yeah, your birthday. What are you doing tomorrow then?
Oh, I'm doing absolutely nothing on my birthday because I'm 27 and I'm getting old, which means 3 years off of 30, which everyone keeps telling me, especially Mr. Foams.
Ignore it. You're in your prime, darling.
So I'm I thought I'd have a chill day, a day of chilling, and normally I do parties and things, but I thought actually, you know, I might do it the week after when I can be bothered to organise something. But
I'm really sorry because normally when it's somebody's birthday, we fill your desk with balloons and banners that we've got.
But my birthday falls not on a work day,
I'm really sorry you're going to
it's okay.
Miss out on that.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I'll cope.
Yeah. So you're not doing anything tomorrow at all?
No.
Because I think there is some dog trials on in North Arm tomorrow, but we're not going to film that.
Well, it's quite a long way, North Arm, for listeners who are trying to understand what it is. It's a settlement out in the middle of nowhere. It's a nice place, but it's about 2.5, 3 hours. Yeah, I did my artificial insemination there.
Oh.
But it's a bit of a hoik to get to, unless you're staying the night before, because they do it as a 2-nighter thing.
Yeah.
I think so people will be going down tonight, and then I think there's a dance or some sort of event and smoko and whatever, and then
we're really up to our neck in stuff at the moment because you're working on a promotional video.
Yes.
We've got another promotional video in the offing. I've only just got back from holiday. sort of trying to get back into it. We've got Legislative Assembly next week, which is the budget.
That would be interesting.
2 massive sessions of budget next week, and all the papers that we've got to read through. We've got Fitzroy Memorial coming up next Saturday, which is it's easy in that it's one of the closest to us. Than Liberation Day. It's one of the closer ones to us. Fitzroy's only about 45 minutes.
Yeah, not even away.
But they've sort of got about 4.
They split around, and I didn't do it last year for some reason. I think it was Katie and Thomas that did it. But it's by the looks of it, it's split into 3 different locations, and people walk around, and you've got to walk to each spot and set up the cameras, and there's not really enough. The Welsh Guards that it starts on, so it starts the Welsh Guards Memorial, and that's great. And then because I filmed it a couple of times, when they move to the next one, which is the RFA, I think, Memorial for Sir Tristram and Sir Galahad, I think. So when they move round, actually you can. It's like I'm making gestures here, listener. They actually move around the cove, and that's actually a lovely shot from the Welsh Guards Memorial of them
walking towards that particular memorial. So there's that one then, and then they go up to the medical something or other thing, which is up the hill a little bit, and then they go into the main settlement, round the flagpole, and do the last little bit, and then it's refreshments in the hall. I'm just hoping the weather's nice. Oh, I do too. I mean, otherwise, because if it's snowing, it will be pretty chilly. Yeah. But you need your boiler suits on for that. Yeah. But anyway, so that's on Sunday. So you and Kyle are filming that next Saturday. Thomas, I don't know how he's managed this. This is our little bit of sport for today. He's got himself involved in a rugby game. Yeah, that's next Sunday. Next Saturday. Oh, is it Saturday? The MPA one? Yeah. Yeah, that would be good. And I'm led to believe there's some paras in the rugby team for MPA. Well, I've heard... I'm making a face now, listener. I don't know. I've heard that our team is coming together quite nicely, I think. They've been practising. I don't know. We'll see. They've all had the gum shields fitted, didn't they, and stuff like that. So do you know what Thomas went to have his gum shield fitted yesterday afternoon, and I was thinking, you're playing against a real tough team here. I think you might have some broken bones, but your teeth will be great. Your teeth will be still in one piece. Good God. That's the thing. I don't even think they've all got the gear yet, because obviously it's a new thing they've just started. So in terms of their protective head gear and things like that. I think only certain positions play that. And we said we didn't mention sport. Look, Stephen, this is for you. We struggle through the rugby positions, and I think one's called a hooker, I'm not sure. Yeah, one is called a hooker. Yeah. And the scrum. And scrum half, that's another one. Yeah, scrum half. Yeah. That's about all I know. I know more about this, but I don't. That brings us on to the drag show. Are we allowed to? Is that allowed to be a link? What, from rugby to drag? Yeah. How did you get that? Hooker. Oh, okay. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Well, so we go back to craft, because obviously... or from crochet. Yeah, crochet. Hooker. Crochet called hookers. No, the drag show. Yeah, the drag show is going to be on the 21st, 22nd of June. If you're down in the Falklands, it is well worth a look. Honestly, it is not that I... I am blowing my trumpet on this. It is a really, really good show. We've got some really good queens that are involved. And kings. And kings. And kings. And king? It's king or kings? Yeah, just the one. It's a really, really good show. £20 a ticket, which is more than we charged last year, but every single penny of that is going to good guides and cause. The table tennis, isn't it? Yeah, so what I'm planning to do is to give the table tennis club, if I sell all the tickets, the table tennis club should get £1,000, and that's then good. Everything else will go to the Girl Guides. They should get. Because they're off to Bermuda, aren't they? Yeah, on a jamboree. On some big jamboree, which sounds terribly exciting. But I think they're doing some big. What is a jamboree? Is it like a camping trip? I think it's just one big camping. Were you not in the guides? I was in the Rainbows and the Scouts. No, it wasn't. I was in, that's a lie. Rainbows, brownies, and then I did one day of guides and didn't like it. Oh. So I stopped. I was not in any of them. My girls were in brownies and rainbows, but I wasn't. Yeah, I think it's just a big camping.
Yeah.
Camping trip.
Sounds fun though. I'd
can
love to
have
go
a
to
jamboree.
Bermuda. Yeah, go to Bermuda.
Go to Bermuda and have a jamboree. So they're trying to raise £25,000 actually for that.
Wow.
So that some helpers and the girls can go along to that. So they need a lot of money raising for that. So yeah, the rehearsals are going well. Having said that, I haven't been to a rehearsal yet because I've been away.
How many weeks away have you got?
We've got about 3 weeks left.
3 weeks, and she hasn't been to one rehearsal.
Something like that. Yeah.
Have you chosen your song?
Yes, I have.
Have you got what? Have you each got a song, or is it two songs? Or how does it work?
No, what happens is basically everyone has an idea of what they want to do. So one of the queens has got about seven songs they want to do. The other queen is doing 3 or 4, but this time round,
one's got 7 songs.
Yeah.
God, that's a big.
But some of them are comedic songs. So
I know who that is.
So this time round, although we've got fewer performers as such, we're actually going to be doing a lot more sort of duets and things like that. And there's 2 massive group numbers as well. So it will be really, really good. And if you are listening to this and you want a ticket, give me a call on 53097 and I can reserve you some tickets and then just give me the money in the next few days.
I've got a question. What happens with outfit changes? Because obviously you guys change your outfits willy-nilly. You've got hardly any time in between the songs.
It is.
How does it work?
Because we have a compere queen who talks rubbish in between songs, and we plan it so that the person who's got the most costume changes, they'll have at least a song
to get ready
someone
for.
else to get ready for.
Because also, do you keep the same makeup on for the whole thing? Or
keep the same makeup.
Yeah.
Although I have to just change ever so slightly on one of mine.
And will your lovely daughter be doing makeup?
Yes, yeah, she's going to be doing the makeup for us. So.
And she's also doing makeup workshops this week.
Oh, look at you!
Plug.
Look at you sewing these things together.
I'm going to be the model, and I'm really excited. I'm intrigued. I don't really wear much makeup, so I'm intrigued to see what happens.
Yeah, she said bring your own
foundation.
Yeah, she's going to do your makeup on Sunday, isn't she? Sunday at 2:00.
So if you see me coming out looking like a drag queen, that's what
it is. And then she's doing another workshop on Thursday evening.
And she does all the choreography as well, doesn't she, for the drag?
Yeah, she's choreographed it for us as well.
Big job.
Yeah, it is, but it's lots of glitter, and it's for Pride as well this year, because last time we did the drag show, it was just drag, but this year is the Pride event, so there'll be rainbows galore.
When is Pride?
It's not a set date for anybody.
Is it not?
From what I'm led to believe, it's not a set date. So, but most Pride events take place in June at some stage.
Because Kyle, our new FITV, well, he's not really new anymore. He's been here a couple of months, month and a half, but he knows quite a lot about Pride and gay rights, and he was telling me a load of things that I'd never know, because we had a big old journey when we were going to San Carlos for their memorial. Yeah. It was a bit of a drive and the weather was a bit... So we were having a chat in the car and he was telling me all about it and things that I'd never knew about, how it all kicked off in the gay rights movement and stuff like that. And I think I'm trying to persuade him to do a talk.
Yeah,
I think he should.
Didn't he agree to it?
I think he would do it, but I think he'd quite like to do it with someone else, because I don't think a lot of people know about how it all kicked off and the movement in America and all that kind of stuff. So it should be quite good if I can railroad him into doing it.
Yeah. Anyway, the last couple of weeks have been quite crafty as well, because last weekend
Paula died.
Yeah, I died last weekend. Do you know what? Because I arrived back in the Falklands on Thursday night, back at work Friday. Friday night was the Mayball. Yeah. Saturday, 9:00, I was in the school starting this dying wool.
Yeah,
we were
dying wool. Yeah.
Saturday night was the Mayball second night, and then back into the school on the Sunday to do dyeing all day. So it really took it out of me, actually, because I'm now a lot older than I was. So it really took it out of me. But the dyeing was fantastic. They're such a super bunch of ladies. If you're coming down to the Falkland Islands and you're going to be here for any length of time, please, please, please get in touch with the Guild of Spinners and Weavers and go and learn how to spin with Margot at the.
I've got a
at the
fab
Guild.
link. I've got a fab link coming up. You're going to like this, yeah.
Because she honestly, it's you did it, didn't you?
I did have a go. I wasn't very good because I made a big dreadlock because you spin on a wheel and you have to skein and I don't know. The practice makes perfect. I think.
Yeah,
I like
absolutely.
knitting. I'm lazy though. I'm a lazy knitter. I quite like all my wool to be in a ball and just do it already. You know, can't really make the effort from dyeing to spinning it and then making something with it. But speaking of dyeing, there's going to be some dyeing going on this afternoon.
Why?
There is at 2:00.
Oh, you!
Dun. Paula's getting her hair done.
Yes, I'm getting my grey dyed. Yes.
What are you going to have done to your hair?
Oh, I don't know.
I should
should
just
go
get a
in and
new
say
style.
I was going to have it and just say, just dye. No, I need to keep the same style.
That's the problem here. Hairdressers, there's a choice of 2, and that's it. There's only 2 hairdressers.
Yes, 2 or 3.
In the Falklands, and when I came, I was like, oh God, what do I do about my hair? And my hair's looking awful now, so I'm going home soon though.
You have started not using shampoo.
Yes.
How's that going?
I've been doing no shampoo, no poo.
Is that what it's called?
Yep, and no conditioner.
Oh,
I've
really?
literally just been washing it with water in the shower and pretending. So you go in the shower and you wash it as if it's like that, letting it dry naturally. No hair blowing or anything, no hair dryers, nothing. I don't know how well it's going. This is week 2 and it's still quite greasy at the roots and things like that.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm hoping that after a while it will shift.
Okay.
But obviously your hair, because my hair, you're so used to washing your hair every day with shampoo and conditioner, or every 2 days or whatever, that it washes out all the natural sebum oils in your hair.
Right.
So your hair is so used to not creating that sebum, so all of a sudden when you're washing it with just water, it's like creating it overdose.
Okay.
But eventually, apparently, it's supposed to settle down and then we'll get used to using just water. And the funny thing is, I've noticed it hasn't actually been smelly. That's an interesting fact, because I thought it was going to sting. But to be honest, I need to get my hair cut. When I go home, I'm going to get it cut and washed and re-dyed.
Will that not mess up with your whole...
Well, I don't know. This is what I was thinking. But I'm guessing if I do it on once, it's not going to be the end of the world. Just to get it cut, because I need to get it cut and dyed and re-sorted out.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd give it a go and trial it, and if after a month I'm like, meh. But I'm hoping my hair will grow quicker.
Yeah, because that's my... Do you know what I remember when I was at school? The big thing was there was a Body Shop shampoo and conditioner. So it was... See if I can remember. Was it seaweed shampoo and banana conditioner?
Yeah.
And somebody in our class had proclaimed that was how you made your hair grow quicker, was these 2 products. So I pestered my parents and we went into Bath or Swindon, because those were the 2 shopping centres we went to Body Shop, got these 2 products. But when you read the instructions on the side, especially of the shampoo, and it was saying massage into scalp, well, the very fact that I'm led to believe, but hairdressers, please email in if this is wrong, that I'm led to believe that if you massage your scalp, that encourages hair growth. So it wasn't the fact that you were buying that product.
It was a simulation of the hair follicles, yeah.
So
but it'll be interesting, I think, to see, because I used to straighten my hair every day, which was really terrible. Dry, my hair would break off and split ends and things like that. And I used to dye my hair all the time, bleach blonde, so it was all strawy. And even now my hair's dry. It's not... Yeah.
But he said that to me, because I went to the hairdresser and I said I wanted to be blonde. And he said, okay, but that's going to take all day, because I'm quite dark. That's going to take all day, and it will leave your hair very, very dry. But instead I had some highlights put in. I prefer my hair darker.
Yeah, I think I can't imagine you with blonde hair.
No, it's not good. Not a good look. Anyway, going back to the craft thing. Next week is Worldwide Knitting Public Day. I'm not making this up, listener. Did you do it last year?
I didn't. No. But what's it for? Is it for a charity, or is it just generally people knit in public?
Yeah, I'm not sure it's for a charity, and I'm not sure exactly what if there's an external purpose for it. Sorry about that, a little interruption there. But anyway, going back to Worldwide Knitting Public Day, I'm not sure it's for any particular charity.
Yeah.
I think it's just a good chance to sit around and have a natter and
Well,
see what everyone's doing.
Remember when I managed to get on the plane with my needles.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
this scenario.
Yes. So we did a piece on that. I am led to believe that worldwide you are allowed to take knitting needles on a flight.
I don't know though whether they think it's some sort of weapon.
Well, metal needles I can understand, but I mean bamboo needles. I mean, for goodness' sake, they're not going to do anything.
No.
So we spoke to the military here about, because there's obviously a lot of crafters here on the islands, and to get on an 18-hour flight with a set of needles, you can do a lot of knitting in that time. But we were told no needles at all, which is, I don't know, this makes me a little bit cross, because you can take a pen. I can take a metal pen on board, and we've all seen that film, and that's where I say Matthew Bourne, but it's not, is it?
What's that film?
Jason Bourne. Where sorry, if you've been listening to all our podcasts throughout the time we've been doing it, which is a whole year, I had a rant about how Matthew Bourne could beat someone up with a pen, but I meant Jason Bourne because Matthew Bourne is a choreographer. Well, but he could probably beat you up with a pen. With a pen, but yeah. So you can't take knitting needles on board the flight. But anyway, so they're meeting at the Malvina House Hotel on next Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. But if you are listening to this and you want to take part in that, you do need to give one of the guild members a call so they can book you a cup of coffee and
for a knit and a natter.
For a knit and a natter.
Oh, I like that. Knit and a natter.
Oh, it's really nice. And there is actually a craft group that meets on a Thursday morning, I think it is. There's a craft group that meet on a Thursday morning. So if you are down here as a partner of somebody and you are into some kind of craft, I mean, go down and see them. They are a lovely bunch of people, and you get to know a lot more people.
I wonder what the history is behind the craftiness of the Falklands and why we are so crafty here.
I think it's probably self-sufficiency, isn't it? That you can make your own. You're sitting here with a load of sheep. You know, you might as well learn how to knit yourself clothing for it, and do it. But anyway, they've got that Worldwide Knitting Public Day on the 8th, and also it's World Oceans Day.
Yes. Now this is interesting. Last year I think they did something for it at the town hall before, but I can't remember what it was. So I don't think we went along. But this year I think we're going to go and have a look.
We are going to have a look. Yes.
And they're doing some sort of exhibition or something, but I think it's to do with looking after the ocean and plastic and things like that, which would be quite interesting.
Apparently they've got crafts going on and all sorts, and little exhibition on what's under the sea and things like that. It'll be great. But also, I've written on the board, it's actually World Cruise Day, which I didn't know was a thing. But anyway, I don't think there's anything planned for that.
Have you ever been on a cruise?
No, I really do want to, but I want to do a river cruise.
Oh. What's a river? Where to? Where would you go?
Just along the Danube, or
I've never been on a cruise, and for me, I've never seen the appeal to it, because I quite like the idea of being able to take my own time at each place instead of being set times. But I guess it must be quite nice for a taster of things. Yeah,
I just like seeing the world from that kind of, on a river, not particularly on a sea.
Yeah, but it's choppy and
yeah. Who wants that? Anyway, let's move on to recommendations before we finish this podcast. It's just you and me.
Oh, good God, I'll have to think. What do you reckon?
Do you know what? I've looked at my list. Bananas.
Oh, yes, tell us about this.
3 bananas at the supermarket last week. £7.62
That's
for
ridiculous.
3 bananas.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And how much was your mother dearest saying that she paid for?
She paid 83p for 7. But anyway. Yes, recommendations. What's your recommendations?
I'm going to recommend that Stephen gets an online subscription to FITV, because I am painstakingly taping up his envelope with his DVDs, which he'll never be able to get into when they arrive. Because I'm worried in the airmail they might get...
I'm going to take a photograph of the back of this, because you've got so much tape on there. It's unbelievable.
But I just wouldn't want it to go... To go, but that is my recommendation, is watch things online. DVDs are dying. I think. Well, I think they are. How many people buy DVDs nowadays?
Well, we did have somebody who called the other day who said, "Is it possible to recycle the DVDs by giving them to us so we could re-record on them, but we can't. But in actual fact, we only burn about 10 DVDs each week, don't we? So
yeah, but there must be a more eco-friendly way of watching things.
I know it's certainly, you know, it is moving towards watching online.
But then you've got that whole piracy.
Particularly for your age group.
Yeah.
Moving online. Anyway, my recommendation is this wonderful Facebook group that I've come across, which is absolutely lovely and it'll make your day. They're called the Grey Muzzle Canine Hospice, and it's this lady who provides end-of-life care for abandoned dogs. So it's the dogs that are in the UK that are in you know, the pound, who are there on their own, who have got less than 6 months to live, and she takes them home and looks after them. And I think she crowdfunds the vet
that's
bills.
nice.
Or she'll put a call out and say, I've got this dog who needs, you know, anyone willing to pay the vet bill.
What a nice job that must be.
It's lovely. And she posts these pictures of these, most of them are very old dogs, hence the grey muzzle. Very old dogs, and she's just posted one today of these two little dogs, and she's taken them to the beach.
To the seaside with an ice cream.
Yeah, they've obviously got this kind of like pushchair thing that they sit in because they can't walk anymore, and they go down to the beach and they have an ice cream. And
it must be. It must be hard that though, because you must get attached to these poor dogs, and then all of a sudden they're off. But it's quite a nice idea. I think
it is lovely, and so please, and if you're able to, you know, donate to her, then please do. But just open up your Facebook each day and see these lovely pictures of these really old dogs. You know,
out on a jolly.
It's lovely. It's lovely.
Oh.
Anyway, that brings us to the end of this podcast 52. We've been doing this a whole year, Hannah.
I know, it's our anniversary.
Woohoo!
Let's hope that we've had a year's worth of listeners and they've been following us from day one.
That'd be great.
That would be nice.
Yes. Maybe next week I'll have a look and see which podcasts have done the best
popular
over the week.
Clearly, it will be this one.
Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, yes, join us next week, listener, and we will tell you what happened on our massive Saturday, the 8th of June, where about there's 10 things going on that the four of us need to cover. Have a good week, and we'll see you then.
See you later.
Bye.